Alright, hello there guys. Welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to properly install and download any Flutter script from codecanyon.net. So today it's going to be for a PrimeWeb application. This is written in Flutter. You can go ahead to search on your preferred browser, codecanyon.net. You're going to be seeing something like this. So you have your search bar here. You can just search depending on the script that you want to search. Um, Once you're done with that, you want to go through the documentation of this script. Go ahead to read a lot more about it, understand the dynamics of it, understand the features. This is actually an amazing application. You want to go ahead and sit down, look into it very properly. So once you're done with the whole reading, you go ahead to add to cart. So adding to cart is just going to show you a pop-up of okay, this is the item you're trying to add. So this is a $29 script application. So you can go ahead to check out with this button. Go to checkout. So going to checkout is just going to redirect you to a page where you get to add your credentials if you have not already purchased before. If you've not, then you go ahead to proceed with the pop-up that comes up. It's a straightforward process. We're not going to be going through this process because we've already purchased this script, and to fasten this video, we just want to show the vital things. So go ahead to click checkout, and once you're done with that, purchase the script and get to know note the location in which it was being downloaded. Finally, we want to go ahead to get started with what is needed in order to run Flutter scripts in our local machine. So there are three things I'm going to be showing you what you should be getting. The first one is the Flutter SDK itself, which you're going to be going through Flutter documentation, Flutter's official documentation to find it. The second one is going to be Android Studio, and the last one is going to be Visual Studio. So the two IDEs, Integrated Development Environment, and then Flutter SDK itself. So let's get started. So for getting Flutter, you want to go to docs.flutter.dev /get started /install. And you're going to be following these procedures just as it comes. So choose your development platform. For me, I'm going to be choosing Windows. You can go ahead and choose Mac OS or Linux. So your first development type, this is going to be Android because our PrimeWeb application is an Android or a mobile application, not a web, not a desktop application. So I'm going to go with the recommended Android application. So here you want to start building Flutter and apps. You want to start building Flutter Android app on Windows. You want to go ahead to confirm your system requirements. So your software requirements, your operating system, your development tools. These are things that are required for you to know and understand that your system has to support this requirement in order to start running Flutter SDK on your local machine. So go ahead to confirm that everything is up to date, everything matches the requirement. And once you're done with that, you can go ahead to come to the final step, which is installing this Flutter SDK. So down here, you can see like a tab here where you have use VS Code to install Flutter SDK and then download and install Flutter SDK manually. So most people that already have Flutter SDK most people that already have Visual Studio already installed in your local machine, they can go through this route, which is just opening your VS Code and then installing it from the packages section, and you're good to go. But if you don't already have Visual Studio, which is mostly what I'm going to be focusing on, you're going to go through the second route, which is just download and install Flutter SDK directly from here. So at the time, the current version of Flutter SDK is Flutter Windows 3.32.8, which is a stable version, and it's usually zipped. So yeah, the other release channels, so something like Flutter 3.29, 3.0, those old Flutter SDKs, you can find them here in the Flutter archive. And Once you're done, just go ahead and click on this button and your installation is your Windows download Flutter SDK is going to begin. So there are vital things that you need to consider when trying to configure Flutter into your local machine. The first thing you need to do is to go into your C directory folder or the root folder of your system and navigate into this part. So just the way it is, your username is last part. You're going to be creating a new folder name. Okay, so I'm going to go down here to show you a sample of how it's going to look like. So this is your path where you just install Flutter zip folder, right? So that's how it is. So right under your C folder, you have users and your username. You want to go ahead and create this directory called dev. Now you can call this anything. You can call this Flutter development. You can call this Flutter package. You can call this Flutter, whatever you want to call it, you call it. Right, so inside this folder is where you're going to be putting this Flutter SDK after you've unzipped it. All right, so this is how it's going to look like in a normal way. Okay, so once you get this, go inside your Flutter SDK and copy your bin directory path, which is this. It's going to look like this. So copy it, go inside your environment variables, which you can navigate your way around using these commands. Once you go inside of it, click on the environment variable dialogs that displays, edit it or add new one preferably. Paste this bin directory path. Once you do that, you're up and ready to start using. Remember to save it, save one of it, which is this clicking OK 3 times. Once you do that, you're ready to get started. So you need your IDEs, which in our case, we're going to be using Android Studio or Visual Studio. So I'm going to show you how to get Android Studio now. Okay, so this is how Android Studio looks like. So in order to get here, you want to go ahead to say developer.android.com/studio. And here you have the official IDE for Android development. So you want to go ahead to read through Android Studio, understand how Android Studio works, because that one of the challenges that a lot of developers have is navigating their way around Android Studio. So you want to go ahead and confirm you can navigate your way. Just read a little bit about the documentation, the new features, and everything that is to know about Android Studio as a code editor. Once you're done reading all those things, you can go ahead and click on this button. This is going to show you a pop-up of the terms and conditions, right, of Android Studio. All right, so you want to go ahead to read carefully before downloading. You must actually read through these terms and conditions and confirm it. So the way you're going to confirm is to click on this button. Once you click on this button, you've read and agreed to these terms and conditions, and then you can go ahead to download it. So once you download, your installation, the downloading is going to begin, and once it's completed, you click on the application exe file, and you're going to start receiving some pop-ups and some prompts. Just go ahead to follow it up just the way it comes up. Accept the default changes just for the meantime, right? So once you're done with that, then Android Studio is going to be up and ready to get started to write your Flutter script. So the next thing we want to get is Visual Studio as the last thing, and then we're going to show you our application, how it looks like. All right, so this is Visual Studio, and the way you're going to get here is by navigating to code.visualstudio.com/download. And in here, you want to go ahead to select Windows. I'm using Windows at the time, so I'm going to select Windows. And once you select Windows, it automatically downloads. So you're just going to click this, and then your download is already on the way. So this downloads, and you don't need to do any other thing. So let's go right into our Flutter script, the one we purchased. All right, so this is how our Flutter script looks like. This is Visual Studio. I'm not using Android Studio at the time. And we have all these configurations. Everything is just showing here, just the way it is. What you want to go ahead to do is to trigger some commands. So the first thing you want to do is Flutter clean. So for most of us, our IDE is going to automatically prompt us to clean or pop get this script. So if that happens, then you don't need to write this command, you want to go ahead to just say flutter pubget. But if it doesn't, then you have to clean it first, and after cleaning it, you can then pubget. So what cleaning is going to do is it's going to delete some of the packages. It's going to um, remove most of the dependencies. And once that is done, pubget is going to reinstall them just the way it should be. Okay, so everything is cleaned now, and I want to go ahead to say flutter pubget. So if after cleaning, a second. Okay. So after cleaning, you notice some red lines all over your screens. This is totally okay. Um, you don't really need to do anything much. Just leave it just the way it is. What you want to go ahead to do is to pop get, and all this is going to be gone. So we're going to pop get now. Okay, so everything is good. You can see our packages reinstalled just the way it should be. And the final thing we want to do right now is to run our script. And how we're going to do that is by writing the command flutter run. And this is going to show you a demo of how a script looks like. Please consider enabling your emulator first. Connect your emulator before you proceed to try to run. Else, it's not going to run. It's going to throw some kind of exceptions or some kind of errors that is saying you need to um, plug in your physical device or emulator. All right, so our application is up and running. So, wow, this is actually a very nice UI. So what we have here at the time is some onboarding screen. So you can just go ahead and do this. And it's completed. You have your home screen. I think there's a lagging some way. I don't know. Alright, so this is our settings. We can switch between dark theme and light theme. So this is a WebView application, and that is it. That's how to run a Flutter script directly from Code Canyon, installing it. Do well to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.